Good morning. I already started off lying. I started off the show with a lie. There's no such thing as a good morning. Good morning is an oxymoron where I come from. Oh, I hate mornings. I wish there was coffee in this mug, but I'd settle for alcohol at this moment. I hate mornings. They're terrible. I'd almost rather not wake up at all. What's up, guys? Where are you coming from? Let's muster up. Where you from? What you munching on? Hopefully it's breakfast. If you're in the UK or Europe, it's probably lunch. Do you guys have lunch in the UK, or do you call it something else like Cheerio? I'm eating Cheerio today. Tea and scrumpets. In Australia, it is what, like, you guys are staying up late in Australia. It's probably almost midnight. If you're on the West Coast, special shout out to you. It's not even 5 a.m. yet. That's disgusting, right? Coming to you from Ohio, so it's East Coast time, same as Florida. At a disgusting 7:51 a.m. I know you guys are like, Kevin, you're such a baby. It's true. It's true. I've never been a fan of waking up in the mornings. It's just not human nature. All right, let's see. We got Virginia, Chicago, and coffee. Someone's doing their morning right. The UK is here. Jerry is saying it's lunchtime, so I guess they don't call it Cheerio. Virginia, Texas, Czech Republic. Hellfire Orbital is modding. Thank you, mods, for modding. And congratulations on your promotion, Hellfire. I managed to sneak you in as a mod there at the last minute. Brazil's here. Romania's back. Cyborg Delta 1, the coolest name ever on the internet. What's up, Eccentric member? Thank you, Eccentric members, for supporting the channel. Kerry Turner is back with his silver stars because he's an admiral. I salute you, sir. Obviously, in the bottom left corner, you can see that SpaceX started their stream already. They are morning people, I guess. They're up bright and early doing this thing. It did, I didn't even get a chance to check because I woke up literally like 15 minutes ago. Did Rocket Lab end up launching their Electron rocket at like 2 a.m. this morning? You can answer that for me if you watched it and show everybody that you love early mornings. Does that even really qualify as morning at 2 a.m.? That's not morning. That's like disgusting. That's what that is. Ryan Ritter, thanks for modding, bro. Ben G Man, sup, man. Robert Fallon, good to see you. Green Tea and Virginia, what's up? You know, I've only been to Virginia, I think maybe 2-3 times, if that, in my life. I should go there more. Disabled park hopper, bedtime for me, work nights. Oh yeah, dude. When I was a cop, I had to work the night shift. No, didn't work out for me very well. It was gross. I have great respect for you. Common Sense, I like that name. Coming from Ohio as well. New Jersey is here. Okay, so what are we doing here today? Today is a SpaceX mission, SpaceX Starlink mission to be more specific, I guess. 60 satellites going into orbit. And if you go to spacex.com/launches, let me transition over here. Hey, you're not spacex.com/launches. Let's minimize you and go over here. There she is. Scroll on down, meow, you get the little synopsis for this mission. Now, this is a record-setting mission. SpaceX to this point has launched and landed a single booster 7 times. All right, today they're going for 8. Yeah, let's get pumped. Other missions this booster supported was the SiriusXM-7 mission that just launched last month. The RadarSat Constellation mission in June. Is my face covering anything up? No, it's not. Good. Crew Dragon launch for the demo 1, and 4 Starlink missions. Holy cow. So this is a pretty experienced booster. Scroll on down a little bit more. Go to the countdown. T-0 will have liftoff about 8 minutes later. 8.5 minutes later, we'll have the booster landing on the drone ship. And that's where we're going to call today here on this channel. But if you'd like to keep watching, about a little less than an hour later, they will be deploying those Starlink satellites for your enjoyment. And if you want to keep watching that, there will be a link in the description. It should be like the first link to watch the SpaceX stream. Okay. Hey, look who it is. It's Jesse, everyone's favorite host besides John. No offense, Jesse, but you just can't beat John. He's normal. John G, so hyped to see Starship fly again. Good morning from Norway. What's up, Norway? Yes. So Starship, they haven't done another static fire yet. They're supposed to do one more, and they canceled the road closures yesterday. At least I didn't see it. I didn't see it static fire, so maybe it did and I just missed it. So maybe today, that would be nice. And then potential flight by the end of the week. We'll see. Been hearing rumors that may not be the case. Some people are thinking that it might not even happen this month, but those are just rumors. Let's not think about that. Michael is back. What's up, brah? Yeah, if you're watching from the UK, you should have access to the Starlink services, at least the beta. I don't know. I saw, like we went over a couple weeks ago, that user terminals have arrived at the UK for those who are participating. So you visit starlink.com if you're interested in that. I can tell it's morning because my mouth just doesn't want to cooperate. I'm getting dry mouth, and my beard doesn't want to cooperate either because I'm getting water all up in my mustache and I'm drowning in it over here. I need to trim that stuff.
You could see those white clouds around Falcon 9. That's what happens when the LOX hits the ambient air there.
That it does, Jesse. So yeah, this is a pretty big deal. I have inside information that whenever SpaceX launches a booster for a record number of times, and they're pushing that boundary, they always get a little nervous, right? I can't remember what, if it was, I think it might have been like their fifth reuse launch attempt. They had a Merlin engine go out upon ascent, but it was still a success. And I think they might have lost a booster maybe around attempt 3 or 4. My memory sucks, especially before 8 a.m., so don't hold me to that. Any chance we get Starman with Starship and be on display first Martian city? Yeah, I'm a believer that the first Starship or two that they plan on launching to Mars in 2022 will be permanent residences. They won't try to recover those Starship rockets, but who knows? I could be wrong. There goes the strong back. Saw it. Oh, they're still going, still pulling away a little bit. There we go. I think it stopped now. Once the Falcon launches, it will tilt back a little bit further, just that support structure. Ooh, poofs of smoke. It's very poofy this morning. Man, it's beautiful in Florida today. Look at that. Not a cloud in the sky. Unless you count that white down there in the corner. I can't tell if those are clouds, though, or just the atmosphere on the horizon. This is Pad 39A, where they launch the Crew Dragon capsules and people on these Falcon rockets. Pretty sweet. And Falcon Heavy. Should have a Falcon Heavy launch coming up maybe in a couple months. That'll be exciting, won't it? Hellfire Orbital has confirmed Elon did say the first Starship will stay on Mars, and that's what I thought. We don't have clouds, but we do have chemtrails. That's nice. That's exciting. You don't want to lick those, though. You can lick clouds. That's safe. Don't want to be licking too many chemtrails, though. Trust me, I'm experienced. Half of you don't even know what I'm talking about right now. It's okay. Every like day I have to get up early to do one of these things, I always tell myself I should have made coffee. You would think one day I would learn and actually have coffee in my mug. Never had a cup of coffee still. We'll get there.
On the transporter erector.
Ooh, she's an angry rocket this morning. I like it.
Now in about 15 seconds or so, Falcon 9 will be in startup, and stage 1 and stage 2 will begin pressurizing for launch.
Good morning, EM. Glad you could join us. And Mardo Spy. Afternoon, sir.
Startup.
There's that call out. Falcon 9 is in startup. Now we're waiting for the go for launch from the launch director in a few seconds here.
Please do this. We don't want to wake up again.
Starlink, Falcon 9, LD is go for launch.
And there's that call out that we are go for launch this morning. So at T-minus 30 seconds, all systems are go for launch. So let's listen into the terminal count and watch as Falcon 9 takes our Starlink satellites into orbit.
Please, I'm getting nervous just because I don't want it to hold.
Minus 15 seconds.
Falcon 9 is configured for flight.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Number 8. It's beautiful.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
At T plus 40 seconds, we've got a beautiful view of Falcon 9 successfully lifting off
Telemetry is nominal.
from Pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, carrying our stack of Starlink satellites to orbit. And we are throttling down the vehicle, the engines, in preparation for max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure. This is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees on ascent, so slowing down the vehicle helps us pass through the short period.
Okay.
Max Q.
And there's that call out that
We can no longer hear the rocket, so I'm going to turn it down now for a second and just chat with you guys a little bit. So again, this is record-setting 8th launch for a single booster, and got off the pad. So that's a great start, I'd say. Now, Elon said years ago that the ultimate goal is to get 10 reuses out of a booster. Okay, really get their money's worth out of them, right? But then just a few months ago, like over the summer or something, he said that ultimately, actually it might have been the fall, ultimately they want to get to 100 reuses. They said these boosters could be reused 100 times. Obviously, there'd be some major refurbishment along the way, but that was in response to, I think, a Russian article, if I remember correctly, that was going to try to do the same. They're building a reusable booster in Russia. At least they're in the designing process, and Elon responded, yeah, well, we can reuse our Falcon 9 boosters 100 times. It just takes more refurbishing. So he wanted to get to the 10th reuse launch by the end of this year. I think they're ahead of the curve, man. I think they might have it by end of spring. Who knows? I wonder how often they have to switch out engines. They can't all work all the time. Yeah, that's a good question. I think Elon did say that's the most tricky part of refurbishing these and reusing these rockets is cleaning out those engines. They'll definitely have to replace some along the way to 100, but I'm sure they have on several of these rockets already. I know they have at least on one where that Merlin engine went out, obviously.
Waiting on fairing deploy coming up here shortly.
What do you think about Super Heavy being captured rather than using landing legs? I think it's awesome.
Confirmed.
I think we'll see some ruds.
You could see the fairing halves have been deployed, and you could see them falling back to Earth. And with that stage separation, that confirms the 8th successful flight for this Falcon 9 booster on ascent. So very exciting. And as a reminder, we will be attempting to recover the fairing halves today with our recovery ships Mystery and Mischief.
Or Mystery and Mischief, if you like to pronounce it that way. So yeah, landing Super Heavy by the grid fins. It's probably less of a risk to do it that way, to be honest, because Elon said that he wanted, when he had the legs concept, they wanted to land the booster on the launch mounts. That doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room. That is some precise landing. It's like a little sea breeze, and Boca Chica would knock that thing off, and then it will miss its landing, tip over, because it will be, you know, half on the launch mount, half off. But catching it by the grid fin, the first thing I thought of was, man, I hope those don't break the grid fins. That's a lot of weight, a lot of stress to put on those grid fin joints. But I'm sure SpaceX can figure that one out. They're going to have shock absorbers on the catcher mechanism itself. I'm just interested to see on how they're going to do this. But yeah, I expect them to destroy a couple boosters in their attempt. It will be interesting. Robert Pitt, are the fairings technically falling back to Earth, or is the second stage accelerating away from them? I assume the fairings will have velocity. Yes, the fairings are falling back to Earth. They're on a suborbital trajectory, so they finish their parabola, get it up to their apogee, and then they fall back down. They'll deploy a chute, and hopefully they'll be caught by the fairing catcher ships in about 45 minutes or so. That's how long it takes for them to get back down.
Now we've changed to the looking aft on first stage. And on your right-hand screen is a view of that MVAC engine on second stage. That second stage engine, that MVAC engine, has a thrust of 220,500 pounds of thrust in a vacuum. It's a pretty powerful engine there. And we're just about 20 seconds or so away from that entry burn on the first stage. You can see those grid fins are deployed, helping to steer the vehicle. And we do use nitrogen gas burst for attitude control.
Stage 1 FTS is safe.
These are those puffs you see on the left-hand side of your screen there, the cold gas thrusters. Those grid fins are made of titanium. They're about the size of a smart car.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
There we go. Nice.
There's that
So
call out and
far,
visual
so good.
of the entry burn on the first stage on your left-hand screen. So it lasts about 20 seconds long.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
And that concludes the entry burn on first stage. And as a reminder, at our recovery site in the Atlantic Ocean, ground level winds are in the forecast today. These winds are potentially stronger than what Falcon
tricky.
9 has experienced on.
Nominal trajectories.
That was
New
just a call
territory.
out that everything is nominal. These winds are potentially stronger than what Falcon 9 has experienced on previous flights. Therefore, today's mission will be what we call an envelope expansion on our first stage landing wind performance, meaning we're going to test the wind limits of our vehicle upon landing. So let's see if we can stick this landing today.
This might get
Again,
really
it
exciting.
also will be the 8th landing if we do land this vehicle.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we're just about 30 seconds away from that landing burn start on the first stage.
I
And
just
what
got
you're
a lot
looking at
more
on your
excited.
screen is a nice view of the second stage. Still looking nominal.
So it's quite windy down there on the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. So we'll see if they stick this landing. It's impressive, man. Like you saw that booster coming in through the atmosphere. Even just a little bit of tilt will knock it way
Stage
off
1
course
landing burn startup.
at this altitude. So let's
There's
see if
that
they can
call
do
out.
it.
Landing burn has started on first stage. See if we could stick this landing.
Come on, baby.
View of the drone ship on your left-hand screen.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy.
Camera shake is a good thing.
Looks like we lost that live view.
Hopefully
on the
it didn't
first
destroy
stage.
the camera.
We'll wait for confirmation. And
There it is.
you can see on your screen, we have landed the Falcon 9 for the 8th time.
That's
this
like
is
a
our
bullseye,
life
too.
leader. What an amazing morning. That is an awesome view. And we're just waiting for Seco 1 on second stage.
The 3 SpaceX employees that were
Yeah,
watching were
Seco.
really excited.
And there's
Heard that one
call out
guy.
for
Yeah.
Seco 1. Waiting for confirmation of good orbit.
Just waiting for good
Nominal
orbit.
insertion.
There we go.
And there's that call out for good orbit on second stage. What an exciting morning. We've landed that first stage for the 8th time. And now that second stage is going to coast.
Signal, Newfoundland.
Second stage is now going to coast in this orbit for the next 35 minutes or so. And while that happens, take a look at this. The animation, we'll have an animation showcasing where we.
That animation is pretty sweet. Thank you, Jesse. You can tell she's not really a morning person anyway. She comes off as peppy, but if you look at her in her eyes, she's suffering just as I am. Don't kid yourself, lady. That was cool. Oh, man. 8 times. I wonder when they're going to go for 9. Let's hope let's hope they go for it next month. What the heck? Just do it. They'll do a couple more boosters, I assume, for their 8th launch, because we do have, I think, 2 other boosters that have launched 7 times. So they'll probably do a couple more 8-time boosters, and maybe they'll go for 9 by the end of spring. That would be pretty sweet. They've been doing these record setters like once every other month or so. Yeah, that was cool. That was exciting. But I'm gonna wrap it up there, you guys. I would say I'm going back to bed, but I'm the kind of guy that once I'm awake, and I don't take naps. So I've been awake long enough that if I were to go back to sleep, it'd be a nap. But I do have quite a few things to get done today. For those of you who are eccentric members and patrons, I did post yesterday's SpaceX in the News episode, so go check that out for all your latest and greatest info. I even include the honorable mentions in there for this week. The rest of you, you'll see it on Friday, plus whatever happens since yesterday, between yesterday and Friday. Check that out as well. See ya, Disabled Park Hopper. See ya, Mike Clark. Thank you guys for staying up with me, or getting up. That's the right word, getting up with me. Ryan Ritter, back to bed for you. And Cyborg Delta, thank you guys. Thanks, Carrie. Thank you, Michael. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Hellfire. Have a good one. Until next time, Godspeed.